Speaking of diamonds, all things diamond painting, square around, I'm glad you are around. Grab your plate, grab your wax, get ready to sit back and relax. Don't see you're single, whatever your niche, here is your host, a guy named Rich.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in to Speaking of Diamonds. Happy Sunday afternoon to everyone. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. My weekend is going by like time isn't fast forward. I don't know. I slept in this morning. I feel like I missed half my weekend, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess, right? So welcome on in, everyone. Hello, L&L Diamond Painting. So Lee brings in takes out the trash and the recyclables and sets up the tables with our snacks and our beverages. Thank you very much for doing that. Michelle Lang, hello. Lee and Lenore, everyone in the chat. Happy Father's Day. Yes, happy Father's Day to any fathers on the channel. I am a dog dad, so I guess that would somewhat apply to me, right? And Sammy's giving me the best gift ever of just feeling better. So that is worth it to me. Sarah Ann, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well today. Hi, Jay Lily. Hello, Brandy. Welcome in. Tammy says, howdy. What's happening, everybody? What's happening? Nothing is happening. I'm like walking around the house. Like I said, it feels like the day the whole weekend has gotten away from me, and I keep walking around the house and I'm like confused or something. I don't know. It's very strange. Okay, let's go ahead and see who else is here. Carol, hello, Carol, welcome on in. Shay, hey, Shay, what's up? Shay is back on. Is it going to be every Wednesday? What's happening Wednesday or whatever you had, Shay? That was pretty cool. That was nice. Wednesday is a typically quiet day for at least my YouTube. There's not a lot of creators that I have followed in the past that I watch. So it's nice to have something on a Wednesday night as well. Let's see. Hey, Eve, welcome on in. Gwen, hello. Let's see. Courtney Kaufman, hello. Melanie, hey, Artemis, hey, y'all. Artemis, I am working on what you asked me to work on. And when I have something, I may shoot it over to you to check it out. So there you go. Crafting with Mary, hello. Hey, Tiffany, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Happy Doggy Daddy Day. Thank you, Eve. That is cool. Melanie, you slept until 5. No, I slept until Sammy woke me up at, I'm going to say it was before 6 a.m. So 5:30, 6 a.m. Then I went back to bed and we didn't wake up until 10. So that's like all of my day. Pretty much. Nicole, hello, welcome in, Grandma. You got your invoice. Everyone who had something from the auction, the invoices, all invoices that at least I have been sent. There was a case that someone had sent an email and I didn't. I can't find the email for whatever reason. So they reached out and I went back and checked the manual records. And so just let me know if there's anything like that. Everything is out with the exception of the one late invoice. And then there were 2 other items that were waiting for payment. So that should all be out. Brandy says, agreed, this weekend went by fast. It really did. And I don't like that. I really want 3-day weekends. Who did this whole thing? Was it Henry Ford that came up with the 5-day work week? Because he sucks. That's all I'm saying. Hi, Stacy Intersagan. Great gift from Sammy. It really is, Eve. I can't tell if it's the medicine he's on or if it's just he's feeling better, but they said I could keep giving him this medicine like through Thursday, I believe. I'm gonna see how he feels and stuff, and get him back on it if he needs it. But if not, it's all gonna be good. Let's see. Hey Nicole, nice hanging with you last night. Says Jay Lily. Nicole, good evening, everyone. What kind of trouble we're getting into tonight? Nicole, it's 4 p.m. Good evening, everyone. Grandma, I know, Grandma, you go to bed early, but Weeble Wobble feeling better. Yes, the Weeble Wobble is feeling better, but he was falling down there for a little bit. Sarah Barden, welcome on in. Hope your Sunday is going well. Let's see. Nicole, Rich, where's my hello? I gave you your hello. Tiffany, does anyone know we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays? I'm just curious. I don't know. Who's we? Tiffany, do you have a mouse in your pocket? Is that you and your cats? Unless if it's, I don't think I recall that. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Excuse me here for a second. Hold on. I gotta get out of things here.
Yes.
Hold on. Guys, you're on my live.
Bye. I love you. Bye.
Wait.
Sorry about that. Tammy has to figure out a way to get in on something. Is that on the that creator schedule, Tiffany? Because I don't know if I recall seeing that, but I haven't checked in a while. Let's see. Tiff, your nose is growing. Adam's usually still live at 5 p.m. says Eve. I know that the Asian thing goes on. Tiffany, I only know of Nicole at 3:30. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on the weekends. I know the Asian event takes up some stuff on the weekends. I know Lee's going live a couple days a month, Saturdays a month, and those are usually need to got pick the battles on the weekends because that's the only time that I really have to do things other than right after work. So let's see. Let's see. Thank you for the extra gifts. Love having Grandma. It's about 25 years younger than me. Yes. I have Thursday off. I have Thursday off as well. Thursday is Juneteenth. So it is the celebration of the anniversary of the abolishment of slavery, I guess. I never knew it was a thing. But then come to find out that it has been a thing in, I don't think it was certain states or anything. So I'm glad that it was made a holiday, that's for sure. And not just for a holiday, but it's nice to be able to have time and reflect. And I know our friends in Canada, I don't think it's Thursday, but maybe it is. There's an Aboriginal Day, I think, and they're both meant to like just sort of pay tribute to the to native Aboriginals in Canada or slavery in the U.S. and yeah, like those days. I'm hungry. Where's Joe? Hey everyone, I'm here for a wee bit and then picking up some fried catfish for hubby. Okay, nice. Did you finish your J-Well? I did not. I have a lot of whips going on and I need to stop. I need to slow down. I need to do something because I want to get some of these things finished before I keep taking stuff on. And there's like events coming up that I want to do and stuff like that. So I need to reevaluate my schedule here. Jeanette, hello, welcome on in. Taking the day off out of the kitchen, that is a good thing. We need to update the Google Calendar. We do, Artemis, and I would actually well, you say Google Calendar. I know there's a spreadsheet out there, but we should have a Google Calendar because one of the things that we had previously when we were trying to schedule our auction was with these like different pop-ups going on. which is fine, amazing, needs to be done. All of a sudden I'm popping up and someone else has popped up and I don't know that they're popped up, and now I feel bad that I'm encroaching someone else's time. So a Google Calendar would be great, where it would have all of the standing lives, like 4 o'clock on Sunday for me, Central, 4 o'clock Central. And then, people can put their pop-ups and stuff on there, and then people could reference it. It's a living, breathing document then. So I'll take a look at it and see what I can do. Unless, Artemis, you're really good at a Google Calendar or know of one that already exists, happy to help with that. Let's see. Yeah, everyone's saying Google Calendar. I'm just aware of the spreadsheet. So if there's a Google Calendar, I want access to it because I want to be able to see it as so. Let's see. I do have food planned for tomorrow: hamburger steak with mushroom, onion, gravy, and smashed potatoes. That sounds very good. Has anyone ever been to, or do they have them by you, a fast food place called Jollibee? Jolibe, I believe. It's like a Filipino influenced fast food, and they have, like, you can get hamburger steaks with the gravy and everything with mashed potatoes. They have really good fried chicken. They give you gravy to dip the chicken in, and they have burgers, one of which has like a pineapple slice on it, which is interesting. But then they usually have Filipino, I don't know if they call it Filipino spaghetti, but it's Filipino spaghetti that it's like a sweet red sauce, and it has cut up hot dogs in it. And then some places they have palabok, which has like little pieces of shrimp and stuff in it too. We have a couple around here, but they all don't serve the same things. Like I have to go to the north suburbs to get like the real stuff. Big as far as I'm concerned, also tip your friends shouldn't be worried as long as they don't share the same viewer group. Yeah, if you don't share the same viewer group, that's fine. But I also want to account for those of us that do sometimes. Carol says, happy Father's Day to all. For baby dads apply too. Excellent. Thank you. I have the same issue, Rich. Too many whips. Yes, Joe. And was there ever the event that was just like work on your whip? Like, could we just do that so we can all say, us the event junkies, we could be like, we're doing an event. It's get your crap done, get your whip done. And yeah, so maybe we need to just create an event that we can all think that we're in. Christopher Colassa, hello. Nix does Saturday nights. Yes, she does. Tammy says he's moving slowly on his J-Wall, but it's beautiful. Yeah, it is coming out very nice, but I have to get it done because I have more coming. Where is it? It's over there. I have it. I have to get back to it. I have to. I'm trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Why is Sammy staring at me from down the hallway? What did I do now? I'm trying to get settled into a system of kitting up and trying to minimize the types of ways to kit up a little bit. And I think I found a solution, and it's great for confetti, so I'm going to do a video about it. But my J-Wall is 4 drawers full of drills. And I think that's the only way that I could kit them up, but I have to get that done because I have 2 DACs, I have J-Walls, I have another diamond painting Deutschland, Blue Moon, I think it's called, and then Crystal Waters from the one with the diamond art. And then I have coming, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to see the difference. So I have a deck from J-Wall called Snow Queen. The one with the diamond art also has Snow Queen. They're similar sizes. deck is 85 colors. The one with the diamond art is like 200. I want to see what the difference is. I want to see if it really makes a difference having a gazillion colors versus 85. So we'll see how that goes. Artemis, I'm from Texas, and Juneteenth is Hearts. Not everyone knows about it because it's not the official date. Oh, it's not the official date. I thought it was. I thought that's why we picked the 19th of June. That's rude. Selling me a bad load of goods there. Was it, you said from Texas, was it started in Texas or something? Because some there, other than obviously maybe the African-American people, that's been celebrated, and it's just something that I have found out about for the past couple of years. Crafting Mary's also several Wednesday Night Lives. Yeah. And we're going to, even if we have a calendar, not everyone's going to put stuff on it, but I at least want to try and be as respectful as possible. Nicole says I'm going to have to switch out my whip I'm working on. If I have to DP one more piece of grass or butterfly, I might lose my shit. I hear you on that one. Connie says, looking forward to seeing your Van Gogh and lightsaber kits, Rich. Yes. So interesting. So I have my lightsabers down here, and I've got 2 of the, 6 colors? 2 of the 6 colors done. And I finished my temperature chart, or brought it up to date last night. But behind that is the Van Gogh. And I didn't get very far in it because I was a little disappointed in the 9th. So if you recall what that looks like, hold on. So all of the background here is 939, and I got these 2 pieces done, as well as the top of the gourd here, if you will. But the thing that was really disappointing was trying to see here, the 939s were not lining up, no matter what I did. And at first I couldn't figure it out. I thought maybe I'm placing them too close. Maybe I'm placing whoever. I came to the conclusion that these drills are too small. So what I did was I went in my stash and I got out some 939s from somewhere else. I don't know what these were left over from. And these work so much better. So I ended up taking off the diamonds, aka, do we call it frogging still? Like cross stitch, you pull out stitches, it's frogging. What is it in diamond painting? It makes sense to call it frogging because diamonds go flying everywhere. But I took off that section and I used these. So then I ordered more from a different place. But I don't like their drills, and they're gonna hear from me on that one. But anyway, Lee does have a Google Doc, but it's crazy old. Yeah, it needs a little update. That's all. I have the Excel document, the link to it. I don't know if I can edit it, but I have the link to it. But I'm thinking like a Google calendar, you can switch things around, because I know in like a couple weeks or some things, Tammy and I are going to be switching spots. So we could switch that actually on the calendar and people could see it. But anyway, Joe says, I haven't seen a J-Wall yet that hasn't been gorgeous. I know. I really like them. I am low-key obsessed with Josephine Wall. J. Lily, never heard of it. Jollibee, maybe that's what we're talking about. The spreadsheet in Google Docs, but needs to be changed over to a calendar because it's easier to update and read. I agree, 100%. It's made with banana ketchup and hot dogs. Yes, Joe, that is correct. Banana ketchup. Ever heard of banana ketchup? It's like ketchup, but it's sweet because it has bananas in it. But yeah, Sarah answers, I'm going to jump in the pool for a bit. I really miss. I never had a pool, but family members or friends had pools and stuff, and I miss that. Which J-Wall am I working on? I'm currently working on Doorway to the Stars, and I am almost through. since y'all asked, I'll have to show it off a little bit. So you got the moon, you got the whatchamacallit, the waterfall down there. There's the sun is up here. There's pyramids, and then there's a fairy castle. I mean, it's got everything in it. And I have, let's see, this is one row of probably about 2 2.75 rows of release papers left. So I want to get that done along with the other stuff hanging on my hook over there, because I just want to make it not look so stuff. Wrap up a whip is in January, says Melanie. Good to know. I think we need it. I need a year-long one. I need a year-long one. I don't know. Laura and Hannah host it. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Cindy. Hello. Artemis, a comparison project. Yes, a comparison project. And they're both, they're what normally when I look at the one with the diamond art, they have the different sizes you can click on and the renders will come up. And I tend to go, especially with J-walls, I tend to go bigger rather than smaller, just because it's only going to make the picture more clear. I think it was the smallest one that they had because it was the closest I can get to the deck size. And so just a comparison of everything, number of colors, the rendering, what have you. Seriously, that sounds like a great project. I'm looking forward to it. It's the date the last group of slaves in Galveston found out they were free and had been free for over. Okay, yes, I remember hearing that story, and they had been free for over a year. Talk about lack of communication. That would totally suck. But so I think it was known in Texas, obviously, because it was Galveston, right? But like I said, I had not heard about it until whenever it got enacted a couple years ago. But certainly glad to see that out there. I see your reminder, Jay Lily, and the problem is I can't find what I'm looking for. I don't have the option to, unless I pay money, which I wouldn't completely hate to do, but at the same time, I thought there was a way to do it without costing any money. So I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more. Let's see. The glow was so good on the lightsaber. Oh, it is. It really, really is. The yellow one, so I did the red one. The yellow one maybe not as glowy, but I think because it's a lighter color. But as I get down into the green and the darker ones, I'm looking forward to doing that. Let's see. What company is that from? The J-Wall? Tiffany, is that what you're talking about? The J-Wall is from Diamond Painting Deutschland, that specific one. And like I said, I have another Diamond Painting Deutschland. Then I have 2 decks, and then I'm going to then have the one with the diamond art. Yeah. So let's see. I'm doing a painting and the drills are too big. So frustrating. That is frustrating. Tammy says, looking forward to switching our lives. Y'all don't want to eat pickles, but y'all gonna eat banana ketchup. I don't know if you eat it on the regular, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just like sweet ketchup, I guess. I don't even I don't even clock it as catch up, to be honest. It's sort of its own thing. Folks are saying, wow, yeah, I grew up with a friend who had a pool, and every summer for years as a kid, pool time, I loved it. I still want one of my own. So do I. So do I. I've been double dipping events this year. It's been working out so far. I also have plans for last year's whips with the same events. Cool. I try to double dip as much as I can. Like that one I was working on for the J-Wall event. It's more of a DP along, but I was running that for the JP or the J-Wall event. And then I did it for Mermaids and Magic, part of Mermaids and Magic, because of the fairy castle. It brought it into the magic realm. But then I took the time to work on Charlie. You have to open YouTube on your computer. I have YouTube open, Jay Lily. I watched a video that told me how to do it, and I don't have the option to do it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm being left out. They're excluding me. They're rude. I'm going to try this one more time while I'm refresh. Nope. I don't see anything where it is complimentary. Let's see. Cindy sings hi. Christine McLennan, hello. Welcome on in. Hope you are having a good Sunday. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing well. It has been pretty busy. Work has been pretty busy. Taking care of Sammy. He has gotten, yeah, I'm talking about you. I don't know what he wants. He's been out. It's not dinner time. It's not whatever. But he is feeling much better. So thank you to those of you who asked and stuff like that. They may have removed it because Mia had the same problem. It's very possible, Artemis. I need to Google some more of that. Let's see. Julie, you're giving tech advice, but you can't do Facebook. Christopher, be worried when Tammy is your source of tech support. That's when you really get worried. But let's see what else. It's a beautiful day here. It's 84 degrees outside and sunny. And that does loads for the spirit. And then this week, let's see, I'm off on Thursday, and then I'm off for the following week because on Wednesday, I leave with Melanie and Berta to go to Great Lakes Escape. And really looking forward to that. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to just having a couple days off too. I was trying to get stuff done this weekend so I could sit down on Thursday and diamond paint, do nothing but I'm not gonna be able to do that because I have stuff I have to get done around the house. And some video stuff as well. Serena says, say hi, sweetie, to Sammy. I will. Let's see. I'm so excited for everyone to meet Tammy. Yeah, I think she's going to be disappointed. I don't know. Brandy says, I've been trying to stay with medium and small kits so I have a better chance of getting them done, and I'll add to my whip stash. You know what, Brandy? I did that too, because what did I do for for Get Your Weird On, all the events earlier in the year, I did smaller, like 40 by 50, maybe 50 by 60, maybe smaller pieces, and I was able to get them done. But I like these other the larger diamond paintings. So I typically have more of those, but yeah, but I have to get this thing cleaned up here. I wonder if Rich enabled it, because I remember you have to enable something. I was looking at that, and I'll look more into it. But if anybody knows anything about memberships, let me know. Tammy says, I get to bother Rich in person. Don't run our professor over, Tammy. I'm gonna cut the brake lines and get her to the top of the hill. I'm telling you that. Y'all have a blasted Jilly. I'll meet you in September, Rich. Yes, Nancy, I got into, which one is that? Lone Star? I think it's Lone Star. So I need to get my funds together for that and find my flights and stuff like that. I will do the size I want and consequences be believed. Exactly, Artemis, exactly. So I have something maybe a little fun today. I thought we could use this periodically since there's not always a ton of stuff to talk about, although I think we do pretty well at making things up. But I have the pop culture conversation pack for the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And what this is, it's just a series of cards that you pick one and you talk about it. It's a conversation starter, so it gives you a conversation starter to go to talk about something. So I figured maybe we can give this a little bit of a go. Yeah, I was going to somehow figure out how to randomly do 7, 80s, or 90s, but I'm going to mix them up. I'm going to mix them up so I don't know which is which. Really don't like going over 60 to 70 canvases unless I really like the image. Yeah, that's a good one. I typically, like this one is 70 by 48, and it's very narrow for me, which is fine. But if it's narrow, I usually end up on the 100 centimeter length side of things. Yeah, it's nice to have the smaller ones because then you can have the quick whatchamacallits, the quick victories, right? All right, so this is the 1990s. So Tiffany says, glad it is in trivia. Trivia will be later this month. We'll do June trivia. All right, so the question about the 90s, it says, which song was your anthem in the 1990s? That's hard to pick. I mean, it's really that there's so much, right? And I want to make sure that they were in the right time frame. So what was your anthem in the 90s? Let me see. So I'm going to say 93, The Sign by Ace of Base. Ace of Base was sort of my they were my jam because I grew up on ABBA, and they were also from some Scandinavian country. I forget exactly where, but I was like, ooh, cool. I'm going to really like them. So I saw the sign. Love Shack 80s or 90s. I know it was out. I remember singing it or doing stuff with it in 89, because that's when I graduated. So it's from the 89 album Cosmic Thing, but we'll let it slide into the 90s for sure. One Headlight by Wallflowers. I have to think about that one. There are a lot of good 90s songs. Like Garth. Garth was big in the 90s, right? Didn't he come out, or was that early 2000s? Googling here. This came out. When did it come out? I don't know. I remember getting really into Garth Brooks for a while. Let's see, songs of the 90s. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay, so we had all the grunge. The grunge really started coming through. Kiss Me, Sixpence Nine the Richer. Yep, that was a good one. Kiss Me. Wonderwall, Friends in Low Places, All American Girl, Melissa Etheridge, and One Headlight. Okay. Tammy says she loved Garth. Garth is probably he's in the top 5 concerts ever. His show was so amazing. In my book, at least. Let's see. Garth was 90s. Okay. I really liked the Bumblebee song. Oh, the one with the Bumblebee girl. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I remember. I don't know the name of it. Vogue by Madonna. Yes, Madonna was rock in the 90s for sure. The little girl dressed as a bumblebee. I just can't remember the name. Anything by Bon Jovi or Madonna, says Melanie. Let's see. Gangsta's Paradise. We got I Will Always Love You. Whitney's take, and I Will Always Love You. Here, this one, Killing Me Softly with his song, the remix or the redo by Lauryn Hill, was it? That it was just like really funkified. I really like that. Zombie. Let's see what else. Nothing compares. Let's see. I'm an 80s chick. Yeah, I am more of an 80s child too. Madonna, my number 1, says Christopher. Yes, Madonna. No Rain by Blind Melon. That's the song with the bumblebee, I believe. Thank you, Connie. So Madonna was my first concert ever. She was here at, it wasn't one of the large places. I mean, the large places really weren't here. I think it was at one of the college auditoriums or something on the west side of Chicago. And I remember my dad and his girlfriend dropped me and my friend Ron off to go to the concert while they went to have dinner somewhere. And I remember the concert t-shirt like it was yesterday. They had various colors, but the one I got was light blue, and it had a black and white picture of Madonna in the wedding dress, but it had puff paint all over the wedding dress. So it was, it had some texture to it. And then on the back, it said the Virgin Tour, and then it gave whatever the year was. So of course we had to wear that to school, right? Until someone put a little piece of paper on my back to cover up the word tour. Yeah, that was fun. But I don't know what happened to the t-shirt. I have no idea what happened to it. I really wish I still had it. Not that it would ever fit or anything, but just so I could have it. November Rain, Guns and Horseheads. Poison Warrant was my first concert. I was 13. That explains a lot, Tammy. Yeah, Madonna was my first. What was my second one? And when I say first, like I guess first on my own, like we had always gone up to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee has a summer fest right on the lake, and they have a bunch of music there. And specifically, I remember seeing Chubby Checker, which I knew who he was because my dad would always listen to Chubby Checker and had stories about Chubby Checker and stuff like that. But I don't think I remember any other music up there, but Chubby Checker, I just remember specifically being at that concert and doing the twist, right? Like you did last summer. Let's see. First concert ever, Dr. Zoom and the Sonic Boom. Soon to become known as Bruce Springsteen, E Street Band. Really? Sonic Boom. Dr. Zoom and the Sonic Boom. That's interesting. Kiss was Nicole's first concert. Janet Jackson was Janet. Love Janet. Love me some Janet. Favorite concert was Poison with Def Leppard. My very first concert was Black Eyed Peas, Swollen Members, and Rihanna. Swollen Members, huh? Provocation Van Halen with David Lee Roth was my first concert in 1980. Yeah, so let's see. Madonna had to have been before 89 because I was still in school. So my top concerts, like ever, and I can't really put them into like specific order, but Garth Brooks is up there. Pink is up there. If you've never seen Pink in concert, let me tell you, she puts on an amazing show. And then, of course, Cyndi Lauper, just because of usually her concerts are much more intimate and much more, I don't know, they're much more feeling. You know, it's not just, oh, let's have fun, let's have euphoria. It's you're there and the songs have meanings and stuff like that. Let's see. Backstreet, No Diggity. Closer by 9 Inch Nails. Wannabe, Spice Girls. Oh, remember the Spice Girls? Artemis, my first concert was Friends, was UB40. Nice. Pink was awesome. She does a good show. Around 84 when I was in 6th grade. Yeah, it was probably junior high for me. But Pink is an amazing, 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 amazing show. I was being nice, not mentioning anything about Swollen Members. Well, we will take it there. Hold my beer. Cindy Bennett, my only concert, Deep Purple, and I'm aging myself. That, yeah. Brittany Fox. I immediately think of Samantha Fox. Two of hearts, the hearts that beat as one. I don't know who Brittany Fox is. Van Halen in the 90s. If Pink gets set up in Vegas, we should all go. That would be amazing. Another top concert, and not because it was a spectacle or anything. I saw at the Park West in Chicago, which is a tiny little venue, sit at tables and chairs and drink service and everything. I saw Adele before she was Adele. Like Adele, nervous to come on stage, like voice jittery because she's all just nervous and I hope you like it and blah, 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 blah. But I saw Adele before she was Adele. And if there was one concert that I would have paid horrible money to go see, would be her in Vegas. But alas, I did not get a chance to go. Let's see. My favorite band in the world is Poison and the Eagles. Both are awesome concerts. I volunteered for Linkin Park when they performed in Chicago, so I got to see their concert. Cool. Shania and the Dixie Chicks. Yes, they did some damage in the 90s too. Bon Jovi and Guns N' Roses. First non-local concert, Santana, Canned Heat, and Three Dog Night at the Fillmore East in New York City. That's cool. All right, so we all have memories of the 90s, some music there. Let's pick another topic, shall we? I don't know if it's going to be the 70s or the 80s. Let's see. I'm going to pick this one here. It's the 80s. What did you do for fun in the 80s? I'm going to say the Atari 5200 and probably Atari 5200, probably Star Wars action figures. And then when I got into high school, I was in a lot of extracurricular music and theater stuff. So that was fun for me too. But what did you do for fun in the 80s? Think about some of the stuff. I remember sitting on the phone for hours and hours and hours talking to friends. And it was the phone that, you had the cord for. And now I can't stand. Someone calls, I don't answer. Text me. I don't want to talk to you. Let's see. Jay Lily, riding my three-wheeler. Nice. Ran feral until dark. Rode my bike all over town. Trampolines. Nice. Richard Simmons was fun. Like in concert. Like he or whatever. Picture booths outside a store in our downtown. Yes. Atari. Yes. Nice. CB radio. Okay. Nice. Jam with my boombox Atari and play the game Aggravation. Was that the one that popped at you and gave us all, our entire generation, anxiety? Is that the one you had to put the pieces and also it would just pop up in your face? Hitchhike Around the Country. Nice. That is fun. Grew cultures from diaper experiments and read a lot. Early 80s, I learned to go potty and walk. Okay. Eve says early 80s. Drugs and rehab. Okay, well, one of those sound like fun at least. I don't know. Let's see what else. What else would I have been doing in the 80s? Cable was relatively new. Remember the first time we got cable, and you had the set box, you had the TV on 3, and you had the turner up at the top, and I was the remote control. And I remember always trying to watch the spicy shows at night, even though they're scrambled and stuff like that. Mom locked me in a kid's home, kind of sort of during 80s. Not fun at all. Does not sound fun. Connie, video stores. Yes. Going to Blockbuster was like a big fun thing. And sometimes you know, the movie that you went to find was sold out, and you had fun discovering other movies, or sometimes you just left without a movie because you're like, I really just wanted to see that one. Let's see. Cabbage Patch Kids in original NES. Yep. I love riding my banana seed strawberry shortcake bite. Let's see. I rode my bike a lot, but not around the house. My dad was like really overprotective, and even though it was the 80s and the street lights and stuff like that, he wouldn't let me go very far on my bike, despite the fact that there's a bike trail right behind the house. There's a pond down the street that has a bike trail around it. But when I would go to my grandfather's during the summer, I'd ride my bike a lot. And that was one of the first times I ever flew over the handlebars. I hit like a mini pothole. I flew over. I was fine. But it's amazing. Like if I did that now, I wouldn't be able to move, even if I really didn't hurt myself. But when I was a kid, flew over, got up, and then walked the thing home. The other time that really did a lot of biking was my dad's girlfriend's mother and sisters lived in New Orleans, and let's see, one of the places they lived, I think it was Slidell, maybe. It was right on Lake Pontchartrain, not on Lake Pontchartrain, but like a block from it. And we would ride our bikes. They had a path that like went along Lake Pontchartrain, and I remember doing that. And I remember it being 900 degrees with 1,040% humidity. Thank goodness there was a pool in the backyard. But I remember we took a dip in Lake Pontchartrain one time, and came out, and my bathing suit had oil specks all over it. So I'm surprised I don't have like a third ear or something. I was NB to 8 years in the ASO pool, playhouse, and Barbies with my friends. Okay, all of you youngins, I don't want to hear it. Staying out till the lights came on. Yeah, I never really had. I always went to a school that wasn't nearby. So my dad, single dad in the 70s and 80s, he enlisted the help of like family friends to watch me and stuff like that. So I went to the grade school down the street. I went there for kindergarten. Then I left and I went to a Catholic school in the next town over that my grandfather lived in, because either my grandfather or my dad, one of my dad's friends had kids that went there. They would pick me up with all the kids, or my grandfather would come get me. So I went to this Catholic school in another town. So all the kids in the neighborhood, they're like, who are you? We don't know you. You're not in school, whatnot. So then I went there till 4th grade. I went back in 5th grade, and everyone looked at me, and I was like the weirdo that I was there, then I was gone, and now I'm back, right? So the staying out till the lights came on, it was like me playing on my own or in the backyard or something. I wasn't like really out with the kids and stuff like that. Nicole is like, I was learning to walk and was still pissing and shitting myself. Well, at least things haven't changed much for you. That's good. Annual cruises in the Caribbean and a week in Ocho, Jamaica. So fun and saw a lot of islands. Nice. Perfection. Okay. Aggravation was the little marbles. I don't know if I remember that one. I'm going to have to look it up. Ear piercing, going to the mall, talking on the rotary phone. Oh, let's talk about the mall back in the 80s. That was like an adventure, you know? I liked the mall. We never had cable in the country. Burger King was an hour away. That's just amazing. Cruising down Main Street in our classic cars. I remember, Stacy, people, not necessarily in classic cars, but people would be going up and down Main Street and parking at the 7-Eleven and stuff like that. I remember that was huge. Renting a VCR. Yep, you had to rent a VCR if you didn't own one. Let's see. Cindy got back together with my husband in the late 80s after 6 years separated. Best thing I did. Nice. Crazy 80 movies. The stuff that came on TV back then was nuts. I remember watching Risky Business after school. TV in the 80s was unhinged, and it was amazing. Because first of all, you had all of the like sort of carryover from the 70s of like the variety shows. So you had all the variety shows that were awesome. Then you had the Love Boat and Fantasy Island, and that would just have stars coming in and going and stuff like that. And it was always like a big deal if it was the same star was on Love Boat and the Fantasy Island. There was just like really weird stuff going on in the 80s when it came to TV. What year was anyone like the movie Girls Just Want to Have Fun with Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Hunt? That was 85. I loved that movie. Sweat or quick something. It was something. I don't know. There's all that music in there that was really awesome. I could only go up and down the street until I got older. Then I had to be home by the street lights or I got in trouble. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Tammy was obsessed with E.T. and the Karate Kid. Yep. Let's see. E.T. was the first movie I saw twice in the theater because we loved it so much, says Connie. That's cool. Wasn't kidding about the diaper experiments. When I was 8, I was obsessed with stock markets and science. Who does that remind me of? Oh, your daughter. That sounds a little bit like a mini me now that you're talking about it. Mall rats. The mall was everything. Orange Julius. Orange Julius is amazing. I still get a pina colada when I go to the mall. Gremlins. That movie freaked me off. My mall has too much stuff, says Tiffany. Really? I remember like the mall in my town was a good sized mall and it was indoor. And then down the street in like Oakbrook, which is like a ritzy suburb, they had an outdoor mall that had all of the expensive stores. There's still a Tiffany's there. There was a Needless Markup. There was all the ritzy stores there. And then another store or mall opened up in a couple towns over that was the biggest at the time, the biggest mall. And that one was just incredibly large. And now that I think about it, that one's gone. Yorktown is still here, but it's suffering. Oakbrook is doing good. Woodfield is doing okay, but yeah. I still got to see Weird Science in theater. Yes. How about drive-in movies? Lisa Frank and caboodles. I remember what a caboodle is. Um, West Edmonton Mall. I've heard of West Edmonton Mall. You know what else is big? Because for a second there, I was just like, oh yeah, that Toronto Underground is like one big mall. But then I forgot you're not in Toronto. Canadian Clearly Water, the drink. Yes, 100%. I love that. I love the late Friday night video music countdown. Yes. Pirate Ship, Water Park, roller coasters, Go Trek, too many golf courses, the list goes on. At the mall, that's like the Mall of America. That sounds like the Mall of America up in Minnesota, is it? When MTV was good. Yeah, when MTV actually played music. And then was it the 80s or 90s? When did like Real World start? No, MTV started in the 80s because the first video ever played was Video Killed the Radio Star. And it was, what year was that? Because I remember, like, what is going on with this, 1981. MTV premiered on August 1st, 1981 at 12:01 a.m. with the first music video being Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. Yeah. But then, like, when they first started The Real World, I'm going to say that was either late 80s or early 90s. That was good. But then, like, they just did like 100 million different variations of it, and it just got worse and worse. Let's see. I think it was 82. Yeah. Yep. All right. So that's what we did for fun in the 80s. Now let's go ahead and see. Let's see what we did in the 70s. So many of you can just, go refill your beverages. Which TV family would you have liked to be a part of? Now, this is specific to the 70s, but we can open it up. I watched The Wizard of Oz Friday night every year with my grandma. Yeah, I loved, when those movies would come back through. You only saw Wizard of Oz once a year. You saw Sound of Music once a year. You saw the 10 Commandments once a year. I loved those. Absolutely loved those. We pulled up videos at work the other day, and a lot of the videos from the 80s involve sci-fi stuff. Yes. Tammy says she would want to be part of the Brady Bunch. Which TV family would you have liked to be a part of? Like 70s shows. Okay, born in 71. I don't know that I remember a lot of 70s shows. So let's open it up a little bit. But I guess the Brady Bunch was like definitely them over the Partridge Family. I was never a fan of the Partridge Family. I didn't get it. I know. I wanted to be part of the Robinson family on Lost in Space. The Wilderness Family. Nice. Happy Days. Oh, Melanie, that's a good one. One day at a time, with Schneider, the handyman, Jay Lilly. I like that one. Happy Days, okay. No grumpy dad around, yes. I Love Lucy or the Golden Girls. Okay, that is way on either side of the 70s, but I'll take it. I Love Lucy. I love Lucy. I love the Golden Girls. I could probably quote many of it. Tiffany says The Young and the Restless. That's funny. But yeah, definitely wanted to be part of the Robinson family. Who else? What other shows were there that I always wanted to be? Afternoon TV in the 80s was wild. I remember I'd be at my grandfather's house and Lost in Space would come on, but that was after like the banana splits. And what was the one with the Great Space Coaster, get aboard on the Great Space Coaster, with the weird thing that would be driving the big puppet, and then you had the people. I would have wanted to be one of Commander Adama's kids so I could get closer to Starbucks. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. The Jetsons. Yes, the Jetsons would be cool. The Flintstones too. I love the Flintstones. I was more of a Flintstones kid than Jetsons, but the Jetsons would still be cool to have some of that stuff. Bionic Woman and alias Smith and Jones. I don't remember Smith and Jones, but I remember Bionic Woman. Did y'all know Jill passed away from Young and the Restless? I did not know that, but R.I.P. Jill. Oh, they never die. They always come back. Are you talking about like the actress or like the character? Because yes, the character always comes back. HR Puff and stuff. I never recalled watching it, but I know I've heard of it. Probably the weirdest thing I ever watched was Giggle Snort Hotel with the lump of clay that would let's see, Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, Little House on the Prairie, yes, Dukes of Hazzard. That would have been cool. Tom and Jerry, living with Tom and Jerry, yes. I think one of my first crushes was Kit in Knight Rider. God, you were supposed to go after the dude, but Knight Rider was awesome. I loved that steering wheel. I loved it. And when they first came out with the Fieros, was it? The Fiero, it sort of had the same type of steering wheel, and I was obsessed with it. And the stereo was like on a console thing that popped up from the center. It was like very interesting. Welcome Back, Cotter. Did we spend a lot of times with families in Welcome Back, Cotter? I just remember school. How about what was the one that had What's Happening? Hey, hey, hey. No, that was it was the family who lived in the Chicago projects. It sort of went, it was I think it was like a shoot off of or related to Archie Bunker somehow. It's going to drive me nuts. Little House on the Prairie. I used to like watching that. The Horton family from Days of Our Lives. Y'all have expensive taste there. I take it those are all family or expensive families. A-Team. I Pity the Fool. Yeah, the Jeffersons. Good Times. Thank you. Good Time. Yep. That's an interesting show. Just because of they're in those projects in Chicago, and then knowing then what they came to when I was old enough to know what happened to the Chicago projects and how bad it got. That was always just a really interesting show. The Jeffersons was a shoot off from the Bunkers. Yes. Mama's Family. Yeah. Artemis, actually, I really like Mama's Family. I will watch that on repeat if I have to. Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert. Yep. Maud, because the vibe, I vibe with her so much. Christopher, you vibe with Maud because of the long jackets, or like what is the vibe with Maud? Just the fact that she's an angry white woman? I mean, I don't know. Family Ties. That was definitely the 80s. I don't know that I ever wanted to be part of that family though. Like the parents were a little too granola for me, even back then. Facts of Life. Oh yeah, I wanted that. Facts of Life would be cool. I can sing most theme songs from 30-minute shows. Nice. That's a good skill to have, especially when you're at trivia. Let's see. Ab Fab. Oh my God. Yes. No, I wouldn't want to be. What was the question? Which TV family would you like to be part of? I would just want to be a friend of theirs. And it's sort of like Patsy and Edwina were Karen Walker. Like they came together and had a child, and it was Karen Walker, right? I love that show. Different Strokes, The Nice Penthouse, yes. Cosby Show before we knew better. Yeah, the Cosbys were a cool family. They were really cool. Cool family. Christopher, oh, Rich, everything. Outfits, a big mouth liberal. She drives her BFF crazy by roasting her all the time. Everything. Nice. I like it. I like it. Punky Brewster. Oh, what was the other one? What Silver Spoons? There it is. With Ricky Schroeder and the train. Yeah, whatever. Family Matters. What was that other bad show in the 80s? Was it Friday Night that it was like the big, all those weird sitcoms? The one with Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers. My Two Dads, early 80s. Wasn't there a show BJ and the Bear? Or was that a movie? And wasn't Bear a monkey? I don't know. The 80s seriously were a fever dream. The 70s and 80s, anything. Three's Company, Step by Step. Thank you, Liz. That was it. Step by Step with Suzanne and Patrick Duffy. TGIF. Yeah, it was TGIF. All those fun sitcoms. Mama's Family, still watch it daily. Love it. AbFab, amazing. Poor Sappy. I know. I named my no longer here Furby doggy Saffron. Oh, well, I hope that Saffron had better than Saffy on AbFab. But I do really Doogie Howser. I never got into that. But you know what show I did like in the 80s? Because how did I see it? I think in school, we did a production of a play called ER. And ER, that became a sitcom. Before George Clooney ER, this was ER. It had Mary McDonald. It had, who was Berta from Two Guys and a Kid or whatever, Conchata Farrell or something. Elliot Gould, I think, was the dude. That was a funny show. That was a funny show. Full House is my favorite. Leave It to Beaver. No more TV sitcoms. There really isn't. You were definitely better parent than Adina. Good. Girl, Doogie was the business. Remember when Marquita was on there? Bewitched, I Dream a Genie. Yes, all of those. Bewitched or I Dream a Genie. I don't know. Both of those would be cool families to be part of. Like, who wouldn't want to be around somebody who would do magic? All right, I would say Bewitched just because of the grandmother and Dora. I mean, come on. You know that she would be fun. Man from Atlantis. Dr. Bombay, paging Dr. Bombay. Family Affair. I remember watching that, but I never really got into it. The show with Kelly Martin was good in the 80s. That was with Kelly Martin, Patti LuPone. The brother had Down syndrome. Am I thinking of the right show here? I'm trying to think of what that show was. That was definitely in the 80s, but I remember Kelly Martin. What the heck was that show? Corky was the brother. Life Goes On. Yes, Life Goes On. Life Goes On. Yeah. Oh, life goes on. Yeah. I really like that show. And that I crack up because then when I started getting into theater and enjoying theater and learning who Patti LuPone was, I'm like, wasn't she just the mom on TV? Her and Betty Buckley was the mom on Eight Is Enough. And she's like rocking Broadway and stuff like that. Amazing. I think that was like the cool thing. Back in the day, you had these stars that were multi-talented. You know, you could see a Betty Buckley on Broadway, but then she's on TV. You saw, a lot of crossover from Broadway and stuff, like the stars from Broadway, the music from Broadway, and whatnot. And now it's sort of like everybody's sort of in their lane. Like even Paris Hilton was probably the last one of being like a socialite and then trying to do music. But then Nicole Scherzinger, any of you like into Broadway and stuff, and she is amazing in Sunset Boulevard. It's a new production of Sunset Boulevard, very minimalistic. It's very different from what the show is supposed to look like, but she does an amazing job. And that was, I watched her on the Tonys. I've watched everything about that show because I'm obsessed with that show. I actually had tickets one time and I freaked out about going to New York by myself again. So then I just skipped it. But I wanted to see that show very bad. But she's killing it. And she was a musician, right? Part of some girl group somewhere. Ask Chris his thoughts. Actually, I think I saw a post. Norma Desmond was only 50 years old. Nicole Scherzinger is 47. So I think just back in the day when Sunset Boulevard took place, back in the black and white film days, the silent film days, 50 for a female actress was, I mean, nowadays it's better, but it's old. So she's actually sort of age appropriate. What I think doesn't help that though is the fact that she's in that black like slip dress, because that looks too young. Because if you think about Norma Desmond, she's all feather boas and turbans and all this other stuff. So I think they make her appear to be too young, but from a age standpoint, she's actually quite on. Tammy says, I want to see Wicked so bad. Yeah, Nicole was a Spice Girl, wasn't she? Nicole was a Spice Girl. Nicole who? Nicole Richie? No. Small Wonder. Oh, that Small Wonder. That was a weird show with an Elf eating cats and Small Wonder, the girl robot thing. Pussycat Doll. She was a Pussycat Doll. Yes. Not at 50s. In the 50s, she looked like Nicole Scherzinger. But she was supposed to be 50. I'm just saying. How about Carol Burnett and the Carol Burnett show and all the take-ups on Norma Desmond and all of those type of things? That was the 70s, right? Not a Family, but I love Soul Train and the Midnight Special. I'm dating myself. Soul Train, yes. What was the other one? What was the one? This one I think was the 80s, but what was it was like the movie Girls Just Want to Have Fun, but it was actually the TV show with the dancers. What was it? Dance Fever? Was it Dance Fever? And there were like the couples and they would dance and there was like sort of a competition. It was sort of like a mashup of music videos and Dances with the Stars and what have you. Hee Haw, Tammy, I never got Hee Haw. But I knew who Minnie Pearl was because I had saw Minnie Pearl when we went to the Opry and I saw her. So I knew who Minnie Pearl was, but what the heck was it? Dance Fever? That was, I remember the yes, Dance Fever, American musical variety television series that aired weekly in syndication from January 79 to September 87. Denny Terrio hosted. That was always, that was quite a show. That was quite a show. Let's see. Rags to Riches, one of my favorite. Dick Van Dyke Show, Mary Tyler Moore, Andy Griffith. Okay, now we're talking. Of all of those, I would have to say that, I don't know, Dick Van Dyke, that was sort of a cool, I liked their kitchen. Tams Go to the Corner on that one. Nice. The Hogan Family. Okay, the Hogan Family, that was like, it was Valerie Harper, but then all of a sudden it was Sandy Duncan. Like, remember that? There was like something weird happened. They switched actresses sort of as the mom type character. If we're doing music shows, Kids Incorporated in the 80s. I don't remember that one. Lawrence Welk. I remember that. The Muppet Show. Duh. Yes. Hello. The Muppet Show. Mickey Mouse Club, American Bandstand. The Monkeys. I never got the Monkeys, and I never got the Banana Splits. I just never got one. Solid Gold. Solid Gold. I remember that. They killed the mom off, and then Sandy Duncan was like an aunt or something, right? But it was all because there was a contract dispute or something. Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. That was interesting. Maybe that like sort of fueled my interest in all things World War II. I don't know. Maybe. I look like the mother of a solid gold dancer. Yes. DZ. I know that. What is that from? I look like the mother of Dorothy Zbornak. Thank you. Christopher, you ever go to like retreats or anything? Like, when can we get together and like compare like quotes and stuff like that? Because I don't know. Laugh-In. I don't remember Laugh-In very much. MASH. I remember the big deal that the MASH, the last show was. Double Trouble was another favorite of mine. Was that the one with the Tia and Tamara? Or was that another show that I'm thinking of? And what was like Nickelodeon was big in the, was it 80s or 90s with the slime show, all those gross like weird kid shows and stuff like that. Dad loved MASH. Okay. Sister with Tia and Tamara. I don't remember what Double Trouble was though. But Laugh-In came on after the Carol Burnett show. Okay. Well, this was like sort of fun to come up with different talking points for different eras. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe we'll use this again. Jenny on Crafty and I had a quote off Golden Girls trivia. Needless to say, I killed it. I challenge Christopher Colassa to some Golden Girl trivia. 89s, you can't do that on television. Canadians, yes, Artemis. Those Canadians were freaky people. I remember you can't do that on television. That was big. My father loved Hogan's Heroes and F Troop. I'm a 70s girl wearing patchouli and smoking weed. Well, I like patchouli and had an edible last night. So I don't know. Maybe like, am I along with you, Marlene? I don't know. I feel old now. Thanks, Rich. Yeah. I want to see the Golden Girl challenge. Yes. Golden Girl challenge. Moonlighting. I remember, I never watched it, but I remember Moonlighting. Doctor Who. I never got into Doctor Who, but then I got into, what was the spinoff? The spinoff with I keep thinking Firefly, but it's not that. It was, I forget. My money is on Christopher with a Golden Girls challenge. Okay, Cindy, that hurt my soul a little bit. That hurts my soul. That hurts my soul. I don't like that. Let's see. Marlene, let's hang out, Rich. Let's do it. Wants to see that challenge. Bring it on. Bring it on. The Golden Girls, to me, The Golden Girls is one of those shows that whenever I feel sad or anxious or anything like that. I watch the Golden Girls because, like any sitcom, everything is always resolved in 30 minutes, but like it was just so much, I don't know, it just lifted me all the more because of some of the ridiculousness, like all the wicker and the sweaters in Miami in 90-degree weather, and the fact that the house layout made absolutely no sense. And whatever happened to Coco, the chef, the cook? See, putting a little bit out there of what I know. Torchwood, thank you, Artemis Torchwood. Cindy, I'm gonna. All right, we're putting money down. Rose is my spirit animal. Whenever I take the tests, like in this friend group of mine, we have a Sophia who's the mom of a friend who's Dorothy. I always ended up being a Blanche, and I did not get that. I really don't get that. But the face of Bo, yes, thank you. When I feel that way, I watch Hello Dolly. It's my favorite movie. Nice. That is a good thought. That's a good suggestion. I may have to check that out. I mean, I've seen it, but Hello Dolly, I've seen the movie with what Streisand, right? And Walter Matthau. When I went to New York for my thing of shows, Bernadette Peters had just taken over for Bette Midler. And at first I was really upset about that, but then I'm like, it's Bernadette frickin' Peters. And it was amazing. And actually I have to find it. I got Sammy because Bernadette does Broadway Barks. It's like a dog thing, raising money for dog shelters and stuff. And I got a like a bandana for Sammy. It says "Hello Doggy" instead of "Hello Dolly." It says "Hello Doggy." Webster, yeah. I watched The Golden Girls and Empty Nest every Friday night with my other grandma and had a sleepover. Fond memories. That's nice. Empty Nest was never what The Golden Girls was. And what about the really weird Golden Girls episode where Rita Moreno is on there with the doctor husband who doesn't pay enough attention to her and whatnot? And they were trying to do like a spin-off with that one. And like that is like the worst episode because you got the weird handyman by personality, dual personality. One's a handyman, one's something else. I don't know. Yeah. But it was my high school production of Hello Dolly. So fun. Nice. High school productions. Anybody else in high school productions? Let's compare the Backdoor pilot. Yes, Backdoor. Always skip it. Same here. High school productions. My first high school production was Annie. Then I was in Oklahoma. Little Shop of Horrors. What else? The Italian Straw Hat, which was dumb. What else? I did a lot of backstage stuff. But yeah, Heart to Heart. I remember always watching the start to that. Funny Girl was great too. I do like early Streisand, the musical movies and stuff like that. Mr. Belvedere. I don't remember too much about Mr. Belvedere. Funny Girl was great. What else was really there were so many good musical movies for a while there, and then they got really, I think Xanadu cashed a bunch of them in. That sort of killed the genre for a number of years, which then when you see Xanadu in the theater, it's hilarious because they make so much fun of everything in that movie, and but it's like in the best way possible. Do you remember Schneider from One Day at a Time? Yes, because I was like, how is this guy has my name? What's going on? Knots Landing is another favorite with the cousin, wasn't it? The cousin or niece or somebody moved to Knots Landing. Martin Lawrence, The Color no, not The Color Purple. The Living Color. Come on, Fox. Whatever night that was on. The Two Men on Film. Was it Shawanda? the Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah. 3rd grade, I produced the Wizard of Oz Theater, aka Classroom Performance. Nice. I'm trying to think. I was in a lot of other. I did a lot of backstage stuff, so I don't remember exactly what I was on stage for. Charles in Charge. I don't think I ever saw it. I knew what it was, but I don't think I ever saw it. Star Wars, Back to the Future, Star Trek, all define my childhood. 100%. 100%. Living Color, Bernita Bertrill. Wasn't there was she? Well, there were so many good things on that show. And then when they had Mad TV in Living Color just blows Saturday Night Live out of the water. If you compare them, I mean, Saturday Night Live is more of a cultural impact, but I think the other shows were just funnier. What was the show that 2 guys dressed up as women so they get a cheaper apartment? Bosom Buddies, with Tom Hanks and whoever the other guy was. Yes. The guy in jail is so cool that I understand what you read because he doesn't. In jail. We're quoting a guy in jail. That's it. Peter Scolari. Thank you, Marlene. Yes. I recognize the name. All right. Well, it's almost about 5:30. So this was fun. You didn't hear from me because I don't gossip, Bernita, yet. This was fun. I'm going to keep this here, and we can maybe pull these out once in a while and have little conversation starters. But this was fun. So let's see what's coming up this week. I know some of us are off on Thursday. I have a lot of editing to do. I have a lot of diamond painting to get to. And let me know. So I think when we go to GLE, so next week, Sunday will be fine. This following Sunday, I will probably not have a live just because we're coming back from GLE, but we may try and see what we could do about maybe having a live from GLE, not on Sunday, but one of the days there, and we'll see everybody who shows up. But yeah, the Ben Stiller show, the episode with Manson and Lassie. I don't remember that. Yeah. It's 1 Living Color, 2 Mad TV, 3 SNL. Thank you. We agree on that, Christopher. You've got that one right. Don't 222. Don't say anything bad about Miss Jenkins. 222. I love that one with Jackie. Mary. I'm gonna have to call Mary that at Jelly. Mary. All right. Well, thanks everybody. This was fun. I'm glad to see that we all have the same things running through our mind. Thank you, Rich. You helped make the Sunday scaries go away. Looking forward to the Golden Girls Challenge. Please make it happen. Liz, you're welcome, because this is why when Shay asked if I wanted her old time on Sundays, I was like, yeah, because I always come to Shay for my Sunday scaries, and now I'm able to repay the favor. So it works for me that way too. My live activity falls on Thursday while we're at the retreat. Yep, always a fun time. Golden Girls Challenge, we're going to have to make it happen. I have to think about that. How could we make that happen? We'll do it. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good week. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Have a good rest of your Father's Day to all the dads. And I will talk to you in the next video or next Sunday. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.